Do you like my bedhead? Hey guys, so there was this post on the Facebook group, and it was pretty much, let me read it verbatim. So the post said, "Alums, I want to hear your wildest stories from the DCP." Literally, reading through these, I was dying. And I was excited, so I thought that I would make a video of me reading some of the best ones that, I thought were the best ones, to hopefully get us excited to get to the DCP for those of us who aren't there, who are there, who haven't gotten started yet, or who are getting ready to get there. So, here we go. And disclaimer, I hope everyone's okay with this. I don't know, these aren't my stories, these are other people's stories. I'm not gonna say anyone's name. Yeah, I hope everyone's okay with this, because I thought of that at the first part, because I was like, ooh, what if people don't like me saying all their stories out there? I made a comment saying that I wanted to make this a video, and people didn't, not want me to do it, so I'm gonna do it. Story number 1. I saved a baby from drowning and then got yelled at by the parents for not letting him figure it out on his own. This was the day that a kid had drowned from the Nemo pool at the Art of Animation, by the way. Another time I saved a 2-year-old from drowning and getting slid onto by a grown man because he was stuck in the slide and got yelled at because by the mom because he can swim, and if that man would have fell on him, he would have came back to the top. Star, Russian accent star. I had to save a grown woman from drowning because she saw a bee in the deep end and forgot she could swim in her fright and let go of the pool wall. And I almost got struck by lightning because of the freaking Disney bubble. And 2 of my roommates were psychopaths and tried to get 4 of us termed with a month left in our program. That is so annoying, and my heart goes out to those who wear lifeguard and have to deal with these parents. Like, do you just want me to let your kid drown? Because, I really can't do that. This one literally had me dying. Okay, story number 2. This was the most recent one. So I'm extending and I met my boyfriend on the program, and it's our last night together, and my best friend from work is with us. We are leaving Magic Kingdom like an hour after park close, and I see this kid and he's crying and running up and down Main Street. So Alicia and I go tell the cast members, I go to the confectionery, and she went to the custodial ICP. We meet back up and the kid is gone. So we're concerned about this boy who is lost. Well, a couple minutes later, he's running around the hub, still crying and freaking out. We watch a custodial CM go up to him. He was super nice. And, well, the child wasn't having none of it, and so he started running around again, and the next thing we know, he hops on to a random ECV under the train station. So what I'm thinking is an ECV is an electric, like a wheelchair vehicle, like one of those motorized scooters. That's what I think it is. Literally, could you imagine? Set the scene. A kid is crying. A cast member goes and sees what's wrong, and the kid books it and jumps onto a motorized wheelchair. Literal comedy goals. He takes off like Rock and Roller Coaster takes off, and at this point we think it's Grand Theft Auto, but with the Grand Theft ECV. So we go to the cops, not security, the actual Orange County Police, and the first thing out of their mouths is, "That kid's a fast one." That was their reaction as the child's still going around max speed on this ECV through the security touchpoints. The cops finally making their way back to the kid, and by the time they get to him, he's on the boat dock. This kid is like 8, by the way, and he does a 3-point turn to avoid the water. I'm basically on the ground crying at this point, watching the cops chase the kid, who can clearly go faster than them, and can apparently drive better on a scooter than adults. That's some tea. Can we talk about that for a second? How come everybody and their mothers on these motorized wheelchairs be running my back heels over, literally denting my Achilles, and this little boy can outrun the police? On one of the, I can't. I'm basically on the ground crying at this point. Bitch, me too. Watching the cops yeah. I already read that part. Well, the end of the story, the child finds his mom in line for the monorail, and the mom said that he would be fine because his light-up shoes would guide him home. Girl. So there you have it. The mom left her child and her ECV in the Magic Kingdom, not even a bit worried about both things. That's literally insane. This one is disgusting, and I feel like the person who shared this story is going to be kind of mad at me saying this, but I had to say it because it's literally terrible. I have a few, but here's the weirdest one. I don't even like telling it because it's really gross, but the day before checkout, I went over to my female friend's apartment in Vista to say goodbye. When I got there, they were shampooing the carpets. I asked why they were doing that since they didn't have to, and they said one of their roommates came home wasted the previous night and proceeded to shit in multiple places all over the apartment. I'm talking like 5 or 6 different places, and not to get too graphic, but it was liquidy. Girl, how are you gonna say not to get too graphic and then say it was liquidy? She then packed up as much of her stuff as she felt important and just left in the night. Girl, me too. I was shocked. I was friends with all of them, and the girl who did this seemed like a respectful human being. Oh my god. I'm sure she was a respectful human being. That's crazy though. This one is literally ridiculous. There I go doing this again. Did you remember watching that video? I was literally doing this. What is that? That'll just be my thing. Okay, so. Oh, I thought of another one. I worked in the Emporium, but once picked up a shift in Frontierland, which ended up being the 2 gift shops for Splash Mountain. which ended up being the 2 gift shops for Splash Mountain. When I was working in the shop right off the ride, they told me right before I arrived, a guy actually climbed off the ride before the big drop and went down the evacuation exit, went through some backstage area, and back out into the park with no cast member noticing him. The picture of the drop was his son, whom he'd left alone, crying, while the family behind him comforted him. Eventually, the guy found a CM where he heard people were looking for him and turned himself in. He was giving a warning and told never to do it again. Girl, people have been banned from the park for doing less. And this person jumps off the ride, goes through the evacuation exit, leaves his crying kid on the ride, and gets told, you know, you really shouldn't do that again. I can't. This one is a mess. I was cleaning the stalls in the Cosmic Rays restroom when a guy walks out of the stall, his dick still hanging out of his zipper. There was a kid waiting to use the stall right there and got directly slapped in the face by it. Neither of them noticed and went on about life. The guy went full Monty right up until he started washing his hands. I was in total disbelief and still am. I started dying in the CDS, later telling my coworkers what I witnessed. Girl, really? How does this happen? Like, I don't understand how some of these things happen. Like, I'm excited to witness, not like, obviously this story, but just witness, like, half of what these people have witnessed. These alums have witnessed. I commented on this, I was like, some people have all the luck. Obviously joking, by the way. Okay, let's read this one. This one is literally insane. No shit. There I was, covered in dried blood and smelling of stale whiskey. I had just woken up on the grass outside the Epcot entrance. It must have been the earliest hours of the morning because the sun was still peeking over the horizon. I didn't have the faintest memory of how I got in there. Can we talk about these writing skills? Like, is this an author? Who let an author on this page? All I knew was that there were 3 or 4 men, I presumed they were men by their stature, and they were sprinting toward me from either direction, flashlights swinging up and down. I got my bearings and searched desperately for a means of escape. If they identified me, I would be arrested and booted out of the program. I can only hope the security cameras hadn't got a clear shot of my face. I quickly made sure my wallet and phone were on me so as not to leave any breadcrumbs. When the security guards were almost on top of me, I lunged for my only available exit, the lake. I don't think I have ever ran so hard in my life. My pursuers were just feet behind me. When I reached the water's edge, I leapt headfirst and swam. I swam and I kept swimming. Vehicles were patrolling the lakeside, and I knew if I climbed ashore, they'd be waiting for me. My only option was to head toward the bridge and attempt to hide in the beams underneath. Once I was close enough to be detected from shore, I hyperventilated in preparation to swim the rest of the way beneath the surface. I filled my lungs with air and submerged. I kicked and kicked, praying that I was oriented toward the bridge. My chest was on fire and I was screaming in my head, but I kept on going. Finally, my body could not take it anymore and I came up gasping for air, only 10 feet short of my target destination. I swam pathetically to the bridge, climbed inside the structuring, and just laid there, panting and coughing. My phone was useless and I had no choice but to wait until nightfall to attempt to complete my exfiltration. Luckily, it was my day off, and nobody could be looking for me. I was starving, and I became dehydrated in the heat of day. Eventually, I resorted to drinking the lake water, which I attempted to filter using a littered soda bottle in the sand that I found near the base of the bridge. When night came, I made my move. I crept along the shadows, keeping my head down to avoid any cameras. Guards were once again patrolling the area, but they seemed to have given up searching for me. For all they knew, I could have been long gone. Damn, did I wish that were the case. After about an hour, I had finally made it to the outskirts of Disney property, unscathed. I stood up straight, filthy, and exhausted, and determined the most expedient way home. Until this day, I still do not know how I ended up in the grass outside the Epcot. What? What? Now, obviously, this post was fabricated. I looked in the comments later, and he said it was a joke. But can you believe that? Can you believe that? If that was real, literally write a novel. The DCP, my experience, like. I can't. And this one by my friend Katie Swafford. Literally, she's told me this story, and to make it simple, worked it tough to be a bud. Someone shit in the theater. Oh my god. So there you have it. Those were the stories that I at least thought were the most like crazy and the most like funny stories that were on this post. I hope you guys didn't get offended by this post. I was just reading what other people wrote, and I hope you guys didn't get offended that maybe I shared one of your stories or not. If you don't want your story to be on here, let me know. I can maybe do something about that. If your story, I read it, then you should like this video just to let me know, or comment below and tell me if it if you're okay with it. If you like this video at all, and if you like any of my other videos, subscribe, because I'm gonna be making DCP videos as well as other types of videos. If you haven't gotten accepted or you're looking to apply soon for the fall 2017 program and want to experience the same things that some of these people have experienced, click right here and you'll be able to be redirected to my video, how to get into the DCP. I give really good tips on how to get in and how to make it through the application process with dodging submission, making it past your phone interview, making it to your phone interview, and finding things to keep yourself busy until you hear your results. Have a magical day, and I'll see you guys later.